Thank you, Slate. That was great. I love table topics. It's always so reflective. It's really amazing. So to continue the meeting, we are going to go into the general evaluator section. And so I'm going to pass it off to our general evaluator, who is Sourin today.
Thank you, Courtney, and I'll be the general evaluator, guys. So what I'll be basically doing is giving a rundown of the meeting overall and transition to our actual evaluators that'll help evaluate the individual speeches. So I'll first transition us to our first evaluator. I believe that's Scott.
I appreciate that, Soren. Thank you. All right, you guys. So my role today is to evaluate Justin's speech. So when it came to your message overall, Justin, of your speech, I thought it was good, and I especially enjoyed the part of your speech where you mentioned how our own individual actions don't just affect us; they also affect the whole community and the wider world. I not only like that, and I agreed with you on that. When it came to the message of your speech, that part was good. The main things that I would suggest as far as improving a little bit on was that I noticed that your speech was for your pathways when it came to the body language. When it comes to a speech like that next time, I would definitely try to place the camera just a little bit lower where we can see your gestures, especially if you're giving gestures on emphasizing major points, because I could tell in your speech when you emphasize points within your message, such as how this man who you described had troubles going to his meetings, but yet people were still trying to make an impact in him some way by doing nothing. I definitely think if you place your camera just a little bit lower and we saw those gestures where you emphasize those points, that would have made it a very much stronger message, I felt. And another thing to keep in mind is, and it's not just body gestures itself. Also think about adding a few pauses as well, especially at one point in your speech where you provided the context, some beliefs of Orthodox Christianity, right? To emphasize how our individual actions contribute to the overall good. Well, somewhere in there, if you added pauses right there, that would also drive home the message that that all of us can make an impact in our own ways. So overall, Justin, I thought when it came to the message of your speech, you did a good job in that. But if you just make some improvements with your body language and also adding in pauses, I think your next speech is going to be much stronger. And for that, I'll pass it back on to you, Sor.
Thank you, Scott, for your evaluation. And I liked how you were able to get all of the details in with Justin's evaluation, especially about the body language thing. I appreciate the body language that Justin was able to do. I feel the camera really just hindered the ability to really show everything. Other than that, I think we can go through a big rundown of the overall meeting. So overall, Justin, you did a really great speech. I enjoyed the emotional pull of your speech and the content of your speech. I really enjoyed that. About the table topics, for example, I feel that Noah made a really good table topics for us to use today. And I'm grateful for Slate for having administered our table topics. And coming to our evaluation, yeah, Scott, you did fine as again, and I did fine with this. And then I'd like to call our reporters up and I'll go first since I'm the all counter. And so as all counter, the most things I noticed was just mostly ums and for most people, especially me. I'm gonna just call myself out there. I used a lot of ums and ahs. I just saw some people used ands every now and then, but overall, I didn't really see too many stuff used in their speeches. And Justin, I didn't really see anything that you used that would be considered filler language, so you did really good on that again. And I'd like to call in my next person, the grammarian, Kaylee. Could you come up and tell me the report? Thank you.
Thank you, Sourin. So yeah, I may have accidentally messed up with introducing the word of the day a little bit too late. So nobody really actually used lassitude, but maybe we can do it next time. But thank you guys for humoring me with that.
Next, we can go on to the timer. And who was our timer today? I believe that was, or who was our timer today?
Oh, it was me, Sourin.
Go ahead, Scott.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, okay. I appreciate that, Sourin. Excuse me for cutting you off there, but either way. So when it came to being in time, so everyone for today's meeting was in time. Justin, I think Justin, I think your speech was supposed to be from 5 to 7 minutes. So your speech ended up being 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So you're well within that range. And when it came to table topics, everyone was in the everyone spoke within the 1 to 2 minute time frame. So no big problems right there. Overall, good job, you guys, and I'll pass it back to you, Sourin.
Thank you, Scott. And once again, I'd like to thank our reporters for their wonderful reporting. And I'll pass it back to the Toastmaster. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Sourin. So I am going to pull up our agenda. And so I will be taking over the role of fulfilling roles for future meetings. And so, yeah, I'll go ahead and get into that before we finish the meeting today. So it looks like next Monday will be Monday, October 26th. And so we have quite a few roles to get filled. And so I will just go down through the list of roles, and if any of the roles you're interested in filling, just interrupt me at any time, and I will fill your name in for you. So is anyone interested in fulfilling the Toastmaster role for next week? How about table topics? Well, actually, sorry, no, Justin is doing table topics. Awesome. Jesus, sorry. What about general evaluator?
Excuse me, please, Courtney. When it comes to the general evaluator, I could fill that post if you guys don't mind.
Awesome, great. Oh. All right. So we have, oh my Lord, I'll put this here. And so we do have 2 speakers. So does anybody want to give an evaluation next week on one of our speeches?
Hi, Courtney. Can I have one of the slots for evaluation?
Perfect. Awesome. All right, I got you down. Anybody else? All right, we can fill that out. If anybody thinks they want to do it later in the week, you can go ahead and come onto the Google Doc here, the Google Sheets, and fill in that. Anybody interested in filling the Grammarian all counter or timer role? So any of our reporter roles. And so the Grammarian is what Kaylee did today. In that role, you would look out for forms of grammar throughout the meeting. You would pick the word of the day. And with the all counter, you would count filler words that are used throughout the meeting. And then with timer, you would time everyone during the speeches and the evaluations and for table topics. Is anybody interested in fulfilling those roles? Maybe somebody who's new and wants to do something, you know, low stakes, but still, you know, putting your foot in the water.
Feel free to call people out if you want. As a reminder, the reporter roles are available to guests. So Dan, if you like what you saw today, and if you wanted to go and sign up for a reporter role for next Monday, feel free to.
I would, but I have an event next Monday that I have to go to.
Sounds good.
I should also note that the first meeting or second meeting that I came to Toastmasters, I did Grammarian just because, like, I feel like that one's probably the easiest reporter role for anybody who wants to just kind of like jump in and just try something out that isn't super high stress. I think that's a really good recommendation for anybody.
Okay. Kimberly, did you want to take maybe one of the reporter roles? So maybe the Grammarian, all counter, or timer?
No, just because I'm not confident I'll be able to attend next Monday.
Okay.
You can double as Grammarian.
All right. Thank you, Justin. All right. Well, again, this will be available to anyone. The link is in the group me if people want to come back on later and fill any of these roles. But awesome. So that is all I have today as your Toastmaster. I just want to thank everybody for coming and being engaged. I know midterms are crazy right now, and I feel you if that's how you're feeling. But I am going to go ahead and give it back to Slate, our president.
Thank you, Courtney. Now, I'm going to do my closing remarks for the meeting as we finish up. Before I do that, I will announce who won the votes for table topics and introduce our guests. So first up, our first place table topics was, drumroll, Kaylee today. So congratulations, Kaylee. And our second was Sourin. So great job to both of you guys. Again, stellar table topics. Thank you guys for letting me lead that section today. Questions provided by Noah. Those are honestly my favorite part about table topics because it's the most interactive and it can just be really a lot of fun. All right, and now I'd like to introduce our guest, Dan, but before we do that, let's have the officers introduce themselves. You can just, officers, you can just do it like we did last meeting, where you can just say your name, a little bit about yourself, as well as what you do in your officer position. So, and we can just popcorn off each other. So I'll start. As I said, I am the president of UGA Toastmasters. So I lead all our officers and our club mission. I make sure everything stays on track. I fill in for any officers that can't make it to any meetings for some reason or any conflicts. And I love everything Toastmasters. So hope to be seeing everyone some more. And Sourin, you can introduce yourself real quick.
Thank you, Slate. I'm the secretary, guys. So basically what my role is to record the YouTube videos for the meetings and to simply upload them to our YouTube channel, as well as keeping track of records and any of the clubs processing information, stuff like that. And I'll popcorn it over to Courtney. Could you tell us about your new role, Courtney?
Hi, everybody. I'm Courtney, and I've recently been selected to be Vice President of Education. And so I have a few roles that I fill, but one of them is assigning roles, which I just did for the first time. And then also I will be educating everybody on pathways. And by educating, I mean I'm going to be learning and going through the program and hopefully documenting and sharing that with you guys. I do have some speeches in the works for that. But yeah, it's really nice to meet you guys.
And Scott, you can go next.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks, Ann. Hey there, everyone. My name's Scott. I'm the treasurer for our chapter here at Toastmasters. And normally, if we were meeting in person, my primary job would be to work with local businesses and restaurants and in helping to bring food to our meetings that we would normally have at the Miller Learning Center. But currently at this time as treasurer, I work with Slate and work with Trisha, our vice president of membership, as far as planning the club's financial activities. But I'm also available if any of you all have any general questions about Toastmasters and need to relay them to any of us, then I'm open for any questions you may have. And I'll pass it back to you, Slate.
Thank you, Scott. And those are the 4 officers in attendance for today. The ones we are missing, the one Scott mentioned, is Trisha. She's our Vice President of Membership. She sends out the club emails. She reaches out to members as well, and she works closely with our other officer, VPPR, who is Tori. And Tori does everything club promotion. She also holds our socials. So I hope you get to meet them in the future as well. And that is the officer team. Now, Dan, I believe you're only guest. If you could go and introduce yourself, you can give your name, major, year, as well as what you thought about the meeting tonight and how you heard about us.
Hi, so I'm Dan. I am a first-year student. I'm currently I'm double majored as in political science AB and a music AB, but I'm switching my music to a minor second semester. And I really enjoyed the meeting. It was interesting, and I've been wanting to work on my public speaking. And I heard about the group through Kaylee because there was a music school event over the weekend where we were on a hike together with some other people at Fort Yargo.
That is awesome. That's really cool you guys met, and she invited you right away to Toastmasters. So that's I'm glad you liked the meeting, and I assume you're looking to come to more when you're available. I know you already mentioned you have a conflict for next Monday. All right, that will conclude that, and some quick announcements. I know we mentioned a possible social last meeting. We're having some issues with that, so we're going to go ahead and postpone that. If we have any more info, we will update you in the group me. Other than that, we are ending about 10 minutes early because we only had 1 speaker. And one other thing for the role signups is there are almost always speaker positions available. So if you want to give a speech, always sign up. And real quick, Dan, as a new member, I'm sure Kaylee might have possibly mentioned this as she invited you to Toastmasters, but as a guest, you can give your intro speech in Toastmasters, as well as fill in the reporter roles. And then if you'd like to give more speeches or do any of the other roles, you can become a paid member, get the full benefits. And again, reach out to me or any other officers if you want to learn more. And that will conclude the meeting. So I will go ahead and close it out. So, bang, meeting adjourned.